Long ago, in a vast and shadowed kingdom where silver birches lined the winding rivers, there lived a young prince named Ivan. Though he was brave and kind-hearted, he longed for something more than duty and golden halls. He dreamed of wonder. One night, while riding alone through the moonlit forest, Ivan saw a flicker of light among the trees. Not fire, but something stranger, more alive. He followed the glow and beheld a vision, a bird like none he had ever seen. Its feathers shimmered like flame, scarlet, gold and violet, dancing with inner light. The Firebird. She moved like music, wild and free. Ivan crept forward and, with trembling hands, caught her by the tail. For a moment she struggled, then stilled, looking at him with ancient, sorrowful eyes. "Let me go, Prince," she whispered, her voice like wind through pine. "And I shall give you one of my feathers. When trouble comes, burn it, and I will fly to you." Moved by her grace, Ivan agreed. She soared into the sky, leaving a single glowing feather in his hands. Years passed. One day, Ivan's kingdom was threatened by a dark sorcerer, Kasjay the Deathless, who ruled a hidden realm of shadows, guarded by wolves and whispering trees. Ivan remembered the feather and cast it into the fire. A flash of light, then flame became wings. The Firebird descended, radiant and fierce. "I will help you," she said, "but the path is perilous." Together they journeyed into Kasjay's realm, where time twisted and truth faded. The Firebird sang a song that made trees cry and stones remember. Her magic lulled the sorcerer's beasts into sleep, and she revealed to Ivan where Kasjay had hidden his soul. In a needle, inside an egg, inside a duck, inside a chest, buried beneath an iron tree. They shrieked and turned to dust. Peace returned. But the Firebird did not stay. "I do not belong to men," she said. "I fly between worlds. But when you dream, Prince, look to the sky. I will be there." Upon a shelf of painted wood, a line of tin men proudly stood, all made alike, save one alone, whose single leg was cast of stone. He bore no grudge nor felt despair, though others danced with legs to spare. He watched instead a paper maid, a ballerina white arrayed. She stood upon a pointed toe, so still she seemed to float, not go. And though of paper, pale and light, she burned like fire in his sight. But from a box with spring and spite, a goblin rose one eerie night. "She's not for you," the jack-thing sneered, then vanished when the morning neared. And when the sun arose anew, a sudden gust of mischief blew. The window open, fate aligned, the soldier fell but did not mind. He landed in the dirty street, among the wheels and trampling feet. A boy scooped up the tarnished prize and set him sailing under skies. A paper boat, a rushing stream, the world now roared, a dream, a scream. Through sewer rats and waters wide, he kept his musket at his side. But fate had planned a stranger dish. He vanished down the throat of fish. And in the kitchen, days ahead, the cook carved open what was dead, and found him there, as stiff and grand as when he left his battalion band. Returned at last, he saw her there, the paper girl, still light as air. Yet peace was brief, for fire was near. The goblin hissed with final jeer. Aghast, she flew into the flame. He leapt without regret or shame. The hearth grew still, the embers cold, the tale was done, the story told. And when the ashes all were cleared, two things alone had reappeared. A heart of tin, now fused and charred, and one small star, forever scarred.
Once, in a quiet village at the edge of the world, there lived a poor man and his wife who had 7 sons. They loved them dearly, though they longed for a daughter to complete their family. At last, the mother gave birth to a pale and delicate girl, but the child was weak, barely breathing. To save her, the father sent his sons to fetch water from the sacred spring, using a small silver jug. In their haste, the boys jostled one another. The jug slipped into the deep well and vanished. They froze in terror, knowing they could not return without it. Back at home, the father waited, growing restless. "They must be playing or have forgotten us," he snapped in anger. "I wish they would all turn into ravens." He did not know his words carried weight in that strange corner of the world. In an instant, a black wind howled through the trees. Far away, the 7 brothers turned into ravens and flew into the sky, their cries echoing like sorrow. The parents grieved, but the girl lived and grew. She did not know of her brothers until one day she overheard whispers from the village. "Such a shame," they murmured. 7 boys, lost to a careless curse, all for her. Her heart burned with guilt and longing. That night, without a word, she packed a loaf of bread, a jug of water, and her mother's ring. She left at dawn, following the sun toward the end of the world. She wandered through forests that whispered secrets, crossed deserts of silent sand. She wore out her shoes, wept into rivers, bargained with stars. At last, she came to the glass mountain, where the sun slept, and her brothers were imprisoned as ravens by day, men only at night. She could not climb the smooth slopes, but a kind moon gave her a bone key and showed her the secret path. Inside, she found the Raven brothers asleep, each with a silver cup beside his bed. She placed her mother's ring in the youngest brother's cup. When the sun rose, the curse broke. The brothers stood before her, bewildered, whole and free. They embraced her, and the mountain opened like a dream dissolving. Together they returned home, where their parents wept with joy and never again spoke curses, even in anger. And though no one in the village knew exactly how the girl had done it, they said the stars burned a little brighter that year.
Once upon a time, in a crumbling hut by the grey-blue sea, lived a poor fisherman and his wife. Each morning, he cast his net and prayed the tide would be kind. Each evening, he returned with barely enough for supper. One day, as the wind was still and the sea shimmered like glass, he hooked a glimmering golden fish. "Please," said the fish, with eyes like candle flames, "let me go. I am not what I seem. I was once enchanted by a powerful spell." The fisherman, too kind for his own good, let the fish slip back into the waves. When he returned home and told his wife, she grew pale with fury. "You fool!" she cried. "A magic fish, and you asked for nothing? Go back! Ask for a better house. We live like barnacles." Reluctantly, he returned to the shore. He called out, "Oh, fishy, fishy in the sea, please come and speak with me. My wife is cross and full of spite. She longs for something more tonight." The fish rose silently from the darkening water. "Go home," it said. "You now have a cottage." And indeed, their hut had turned into a neat little house, with a roof that didn't leak and windows that shut tight. But soon, his wife grew restless. "This house is small. I want a manor with gardens and geese that wear ribbons." So the fisherman returned to the sea. "Fishy, fishy in the tide, my wife is growing large with pride. She wants a manor, walls of stone. Please grant her wish, or I'm alone." The fish nodded once and vanished. By the next day, they had a manor, but it wasn't enough. "She wants to be queen," said the fisherman. Weeks later, shame in his voice. He returned to the fish, and again it obeyed. Then she wanted to be empress, then pope, and every time the sea grew darker and the winds more cruel. Finally, she said, "Go back. Tell it I want to be God." The fisherman trembled. "Wife, that is not a wish. That is madness." But she glared at him with eyes like shattered glass. So once more, he went to the sea. "Fishy, fishy, deep and old, my wife grows colder, wild and bold. She wants the stars, the throne, the rod. She wants to be no less than God." The sea turned black. Thunder rolled. No fish came. The water swallowed his voice and returned only silence. When he reached home, the manor was gone. The gardens were weeds. The sky was grey. And the hut was back, rotting, crooked, empty. His wife sat in the sand, staring into the waves, her eyes wide and hollow. She spoke no word. And the fisherman? He never cast his line again.
Again. Again. Again. Again. Again. Again.
In a sunlit field, a delicate flax plant swayed with the breeze. "Oh, how happy I am," it whispered to the sky. "The sun kisses me, the wind sings to me, and the world is so beautiful." Time passed, and the flax bloomed with tiny blue flowers. Birds sang among its stems, and it felt loved by the earth itself. "Surely I am meant for something wonderful," thought the flax. One day, the farmer came with a scythe. The flax was cut down, tied into bundles, and soaked in water. "This is painful," it cried. "Why must beauty end like this?" But the journey had only begun. It was dried, beaten, and combed into soft threads. Then it was spun into fine linen, woven into cloth, and sewn into a lovely white tablecloth. "Ah," the flax thought, "this is my new life. I am cherished on feast days, touched by laughter and candlelight." Years passed. The tablecloth grew stained and worn. It was torn into rags and used in the kitchen. "Even now I have purpose," the flax mused, "though I am faded." Eventually the rags were gathered, shredded, and boiled into pulp, and from the pulp they made paper. "I am born again," the flax rejoiced. Ink flowed across the fresh pages, turning them into a book filled with words and stories. "Now I will live forever," said the flax, "not just in one home, but in many hearts."
It was the last evening of the year. Snow drifted gently through the narrow streets of the town, cloaking the cobblestones in silence. Amid the cold, a little girl wandered barefoot, her feet red and raw from the frost. Her thin slippers, once her mother's, had been lost, one in the snow, the other taken by a passing child. Now she clutched a bundle of matches in one hand, trying to sell them to the indifferent crowds. No one stopped. Her hair hung in wet strands around her face, and her threadbare dress offered no warmth. Lights flickered behind the windows of the homes she passed. Shadows of families gathered around firelight, of laughter, of comfort. She dared not return home without earning a single coin. Her father would be angry. And it was so cold. To stay warm, she crouched in a sheltered corner between two buildings. She lit the first match. A small flame flickered to life, and in its glow she saw a warm stove before her, iron and golden, blazing with heat. She stretched out her hands, but as the flame died, the stove vanished. She lit a second match. This time, she saw a feast. Roast goose steaming on a grand table, apples glistening, cakes piled high. The match burned down to her fingers, and the vision disappeared. Another match. A Christmas tree shimmered before her, taller than any she had seen, covered in glowing candles and shining glass ornaments. As the flame faded, the lights rose into the sky and became stars. She struck a fourth match, and there, in the glow, stood her grandmother, kind and gentle, smiling the way she used to before she left this world. The girl cried out, "Grandmother, take me with you. Don't leave me behind." Fearing the vision would vanish, she struck all the remaining matches at once. A brilliant light surrounded her, warmer than fire, brighter than daylight. Her grandmother reached for her, and together they rose above the snow-covered streets, into the stars. The next morning, the townspeople found the little girl in the corner. She sat still, her cheeks pink, a smile frozen on her lips. The burnt-out matches scattered around her. No one knew the beauty she had seen, or the peace she had found. But in the sky above, a new star shone bright.
Her magic powers to make herself queen. She was so wicked envious of a sweet nature and breathtaking looks. Before a prince can marry the daughter, you have to complete 3 tests. 3 possible tests first. And if they fail, that will be the end then. None of the princes have passed all the 3 tests that they've never seen again. But there was another prince.
Try his luck. On his journey to find the wicked witch, the prince ran into 6 men, each of them slightly more unusual than the next. One of them was so fat that he could eat the whole world in one go. Another could hear everything that was going on in the world. The third had the longest legs you have ever seen. Could walk around the world in just 22 paces. I say, is where I am, where the battle. You forget that everything being looked at would be shattered into 1,000 pieces. It was always cold, so cold that no fire could warm him. The 6th was long neck. His neck was so long that you could see half of the world from way up in the sky. And joined the prince on his quest to find the wicked witch. He became his servants and companions, but all others the prince had to complete. 3 impossible tests set by the witch. Do you think he will succeed? Will his companions be able to help him? Will we ever know?
It was said the trees there remembered the cries of the first war, and that those who entered returned either changed or not at all. Caleb, a young scholar of forgotten tongues, had not come for glory, nor revenge, nor coin. He came searching for truth. Whispers in a crumbling tome spoke of an ancient pact, sealed in the grove, one that kept the balance between the waking world and the realm of hollow dreams. The journey was not a chosen one. It began the night a blood-colored frost crept across the meadows of his homeland, withering crops and shattering stone. No sun rose the next day, only a dim blue haze. Elders muttered of the hollow king stirring and the old seals weakening. Caleb traveled alone at first, but in the foothills of the Black Spine, he met Farrell, a ranger exiled by her kin for reasons she did not share. She spoke little, but her eyes had seen more death than Caleb could name. Together, they passed into lands where even beasts did not go. Storms there moved against the wind, and once they watched a herd of deer dissolve into mist mid-gallop, leaving only the sound of hooves echoing across nothing. In the heart of the Ash Grove, beneath a tree whose bark was carved with words from no tongue spoken by man, they found the stone. It pulsed faintly, alive with old power. Caleb read the words carved into its base, and as he spoke them aloud, the world shifted. A figure emerged, neither man nor beast, cloaked in roots and ash, eyes like dim coals. The warden of the pact. It did not speak, but Caleb understood. Long ago, the pact had been made between humans and what lay beneath dreams. A trade, memory for peace. Each generation gave something, names, songs, faces of loved ones. In return, the hollow king remained sleeping, bound to the veil between worlds. But men had broken the pact, built cities over memory, named stars that should have been forgotten, worshipped certainty and cast away mystery. Now the hollow king stirred. Caleb was offered a choice: restore the balance by giving something back, something vast, something he could not reclaim. He chose his name. The moment it left him, it was as if 1,000 doors closed. Farrell turned to him and did not recognize his face. He had no past, no kin, no place in the world. But the frost lifted, the stars whispered again. He walked away from the grove, a stranger to all, but he carried peace behind him, and in fear